Hi, Shalom. Welcome back to Flipping Pages, Stirring Sauces. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. It seems as if the world has gone mad. But I made notes tonight, and hopefully I won't keep you too long. Now, there are a lot of people these days who are trying to play God with people's lives. And a lot of people are claiming to be Christians. And with what is going on in the world today, I want no part of that religion. So let it be known that all of these modern day religions come out of the Roman Catholic religion. And if you've never heard of the papal bull, in other words, the Pope's Bulletin, you need to get a hold of it and read it. Read the Pope's Bulletin, but you might find it under the papal bull. You need to get a hold of the King Alfred plan. They are now calling it a fictional plan. There's nothing fictional about it. His plan was to wipe melanated people off the face of the earth completely. But without us, there would be no earth. We are the salt of the earth. This earth was created for us by our Creator, and our Creator placed us here. It doesn't matter how hard they try, we will strive. And you need to see how the British monarchy and the Pope got together to change the facts, steal a people's history, and make it their own. And then enslave those people mentally, physically, socially, emotionally, spiritually, and historically. Did you know that Elizabeth Windsor, better known as the Queen, kneeled and bowed in front of Haile Selassie? People say that Trump, as in the previous president of the not so United States of America, they said that he caused racism to become rampant in America. But I say to you, it was already there in the people. He only brought it to the surface. And they say the same about Justin Trudeau, that he only that he stirred up racism in Canadians and divided Canadians. But what he did was he brought what was already in the people, and I use the word people loosely, to the surface. The person who is truly good at the core cannot be corrupted. The person who is truly good will always do the right thing. And I know that for a fact. I don't like people. I don't like being around people. But if someone is in need, I will be the first one to help, because I dislike seeing people in need more than I dislike people. I truly believe that there are angels among us and that they come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. And the same goes for the devils among us. I know for a fact that I can put my arms around my enemy and genuinely comfort that enemy, because I've done it. And in that instant, I knew what I was made of. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Now, Charles showed his true colors, but the world missed it the first time around. I did not. And when he did it a second time, the world caught him and saw him for who he truly is. Now, Andrew Holness, that dipstick is out of his mind. 12 days of mourning for what? People, open your businesses. Go out in the sunshine and do your hustling. He's full of crap, like me a bug. Now, the ugly people of the world is up in arms about the Little Mermaid being black. How many millions of so-called Christians formed a group online to spew their hate and anger about the Little Mermaid being black? You would think in this day and age they have better things to do with their time. But I'm going to read something to you. I'm going to be reading from Mark chapter 7, from, let's say, verse 25. For a certain woman whose daughter had an unclean spirit heard of him and came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by nation. Sorry, I didn't say that correctly. A Syrophoenician by nation. And she besought him that he would cast forth the devil out of her daughter. But Jesus said unto her, Let the children first be filled, for it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it unto the dogs. And she answered and said unto him, Yes, Lord, yet the dogs under the table eat of the children's crumbs. And he said unto her, For this saying, go thy way, the devil is gone out of thy daughter. Now, in ancient Egypt, if you look at some of the pictures from ancient Egypt, you will see dog-headed men carrying trays, serving. Okay? This was Christ having a conversation with a dog. Whether people want to believe it or not, this woman was a dog. She was of the dog-headed people who served us. And this is why when she went to Christ and asked him to cast this demon out of her daughter, he didn't really want anything to do with her because she had a place, and her place was as a server. But anyway, people might not think it was so, but it was so. And Christopher Columbus was of that same nation. Christopher Columbus was a dog-headed man. And in India, they have a very big statue of a dog-headed man. So, people are up in arms about the Little Mermaid. Mermaids are real, and they're bluish purple in color. Unicorns are real. The Bible talks about young unicorns. Dragons are real. Avatars are real. The Bible talks about all these creatures, and they're not mythological. Truth is stranger than fiction. But that is just some food for thought. That is not what I wanted to talk about tonight. What I really wanted to talk about tonight is flour and the importance of becoming farmers, tilling the land, and growing your own food. Cricket flour. Cricket, you know, those little bugs that hop around on trees and make noises at night. Some of them are green, some of them are gray. They have wings, they fly. They carry germs inside of them that cannot be killed by heat. Those things. They're now making flour out of those things. That flour is being made and is available right here in Canada. And what they're doing with it is not okay. If you want to eat that by choice, then more power to you. But they're putting it into baked goods and other food items, and they're not disclosing it. There is also a little red insect that lives among the cactus plants. It's red. It actually looks like a cactus flower before the cactus flower blooms. And they are using that in food coloring, as food coloring in people's food. And if you read certain packages, you will see it listed on there, Sensilia or something like that. I'm sorry, I should have written that name down. I didn't think to do that. My apologies for that. But the flour that people are consuming in the Caribbean has all manner of evil and nastiness in it. And if you look at the flour, well, I've looked at the flour on the shelves in supermarkets in Jamaica, and that flour is not brown like wheat flour, and it's not white like the bleached flour. It's actually almost grayish color. And people who live in tropical countries, they can make their own flour out of almost everything that they pull out of the earth, or pull from the earth, or grow in the earth. And we seriously need to start looking at that. You can make flour from cocoa. You can make flour from potatoes, edos, dasheen, yam, banana, plantain, cassava, coconut, almonds, peanut, cashews, carrots, arrowroot, and so much more. From beets. Everything that you grow in the earth, you can make flour out of. And what you need to turn that into flour is simple. Flour. You can make flour out of rice. You need a grater or a mortar and pestle. What we refer to in Jamaica as a mata stick. You know, the one your grandmother used to have that you would beat things in until they turned into powder? One of those. And all you need for that is the trunk of a tree and a nice big stick. Clean that up and away you go. And you need the largest oven in the world. The largest oven in the world. It's very inexpensive. It's actually free. And you see, these demons are trying their hardest to block out the sunlight, because the sunlight represents life. And they're doing everything in their power to block it out and talk about global warming. The earth is going through a cycle. Now, you can concoct a press from 2 lengths of 2x4, some blocks, or a big rock stone, a piece of zinc, and you need a clean white cotton tablecloth or a clean white cotton sheet that is used only in food preparation. So don't take your sheet off your bed that you're sleeping on, and don't take your tablecloth off your table that you're serving your food on. Get a nice new clean tablecloth and wash it thoroughly, or a nice new clean single bed sheet and wash it thoroughly. Now, all of these ground provisions and nuts have liquid or oils in them. And the liquid and oils can be extracted by gratering these things or pounding them and then squeezing them or putting them in the sun to dry out. Once the oils and liquids are extracted from these provisions, put them in the sun to dry. And what you are left with is a powder or a flour, which can be stored in glass containers. You have glass bottles and glass containers everywhere. You can reuse them. And it's very easy to make a grater out of any kind of material you have. I don't know if they still have kerosene pans or if they still have butter pan, cheese pan. All you need is something to put that piece of metal on, and a nail and a hammer or a piece of stick, and you can make your own grater. So the liquid can also be dried and stored as starch. Starch can be used as a riser and as a binder. And what I mean by that, instead of using dairy products or batty balls or eggs, you can use starch. You can use starch in your baking. When I make gluten-free banana bread, I combine brown rice flour, potato starch, and tapioca or arrowroot powder or starch. They call it powder, they call it starch, with bananas and a little Irish moss. And I don't mean the dry Irish moss. I mean you make the Irish moss like you're going to drink it. And some vanilla and a little bit of honey and some coconut or olive oil and some homemade almond milk or water. And if you choose to, you can put a little bit of baking powder in it. You don't have to. And it is the best banana bread that you've ever tasted. I am famous for my banana bread. And I do not use dairy products or eggs or milk in my banana bread. I use water or homemade almond milk. You can make your own homemade almond milk. All you need is a good blender or a good food processor and some water, and away you go. The trick though is to have 2 powders or 2 starch and 1 flour. When you add the liquid back into your powder and your flour, they are happy, 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 happy. Very happy. They fall in love with each other and they mingle and carry on. And when you put them in the oven and the heat hits them, they get really happy and things start to pop and explode. And that's how you get your rise. Now, avocados, or as we call them in Jamaica, pears. They are a great source for making oil. And all you need is preferably a steel or glass container, some avocados, a piece of zinc, clean zinc, which is only used in food preparation, and the sun. And once you've smashed up your avocado and you spread it out on that zinc, the containers is for catching the oil that is going to run out of it once you put it out in the sun and it starts to dry out. And avocados are amazing. Pears are amazing. You can put them in your smoothies and it gives your smoothie a nice silky texture, and it doesn't change the flavor or the taste of your smoothie. So if you're making like a cherry smoothie or a pineapple smoothie, you won't taste the pear or avocado in it. It just gives it a nice texture. And the other thing with pear, avocado, it's good for your skin. It's good for your hair. It's good for your body. All these oils you can eat, you can use in your hair, you can use on your body, and in your oil lamps. So, in conjunction with your farming, you need to have oil lamps, because that is where we're heading. A time is going to come when you're going to need your oil lamps. And the time is going to come when melanated people, we will have to communicate the way we did in the olden days. We will have to communicate the way we did when we were children and we went bird hunting. We will have to communicate by banging our drums, speaking with our drums. We need to go back to doing that. As melanated people, we need to go back to the bartering system. If your neighbor grow gungo peas, then you grow red peas. If your neighbor grow a broad bean, then you grow black-eyed peas or cowpeas. If your neighbor grow lime, you grow orange. If your neighbor grow scallion, you grow onion. If your neighbor grow tomato, you grow cucumbers. Melanated people, we need to go back to the way we lived before we came in contact with our oppressors. We need to go back to that lifestyle where you were your brother's keeper. And my brothers and and sisters in Jamaica in particular, who are killing each other on a daily basis. Who is going to protect and take care of our elderly? Who is going to protect and take care of the children you're leaving behind? Who is going to protect the nation when the people who seek to eliminate us comes calling? You need to put your guns down. You need to hide them. You need to put them away for when our real enemies come calling. Your brother is not your enemy. Your sister is not your enemy. The real enemy has already opened the door and have entered unchallenged. If you take nothing from what I've said tonight, remember that. I humbly ask you to like, share, subscribe, and comment. I give you my Ahab, my Baruch, and my peace, because I am at peace with myself. I am at peace with my world. I am at peace with the great I. I am at peace with the great I am. I am at peace with the Ancient of Days. I am at peace with my Awa, the giver of breath. I am at peace with my Yahweh. Shalom and Kayak.